Hey everyone, I figure it's a good time again to do a gold and silver market update. Gold and silver are both on bull runs right now and are both charging upwards and have went up a few days in a row now. As I film this, gold is $2,420 per ounce and silver is $31.50 an ounce. That's up quite substantially just in the month of July in these first 11 days. Why do I think that's happening? Where do I think it's going to go from here? Well, I'm going to talk about that in the video coming up. And while I do that, I'm going to give a coin shop walkthrough. We're going to feature some new products that we've bought here at Minot Coin Bullion because the last week or so, there have been a lot of sellers. There's still a fair amount of buyers too, but we've actually had a few days where we've bought more than we've sold. So we're going to feature some of those new items as well, and I'll talk about what customers are saying and how they feel the state of our economy and the state of the world is right now. So a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to show you. So I hope you stick around. So first we're going to talk about the silver market. As I mentioned in the intro, silver's up over $31 an ounce. In fact, it's up over $31.50 per ounce right now, which is a substantial increase to where we were even just less than 2 weeks ago. For those of you who follow the charts like I do, this isn't unfamiliar territory. Silver has gotten here before, but we saw a pretty sharp dip in mid to end of June into early July, where silver got into the $28 range for quite a while. That was after all of the experts, or at least a lot of them, really felt, and myself included, honestly, and I don't call myself an expert, but we all felt that $30 was kind of the new floor and that it would really take an event to push silver below that. Well, it took an event, silver manipulation with contracts, and it did push it down below that $30 mark. So while silver was cheap, I hope you had the opportunity to stock up on it. I think relatively speaking, silver is still cheap right now. You know, $31.50 isn't that crazy of a price. If you look back to 2011, in April, it got to nearly $50 per ounce. And that was in 2011 dollars. Adjusted for inflation, I have no idea what that number should be today, but it should be well over $100 because prices have well more than doubled in the last 13 years really. 13 years and a few months. So having said that, I still think $31.50 spot price silver is a good bargain. So I'm continuing to stack in my own personal life. I have customers that are continuing to stack and buy in the shop. So where do I feel silver is going to go from here? Well, it's impossible to predict, but of course I have an opinion on it. And this isn't just my opinion because I sell it. As I said, I'm a stacker first, I'm a business person second. I'm still stacking silver, even at this price, even at $31.50 per ounce. In fact, I'm taking home about 15 ounces of silver today. So I don't know. I don't know what the price of silver would have to get to in order for me to hesitate to want to stack more, but we're not anywhere close to that number now. As I mentioned, you know, silver, the modern high of almost $50 happened less than 14 years ago, and that was in 2011 dollars. So I think it has a long way to go. I think it should go up quite a bit. But there's always pullbacks along the way up. So this is no guarantee saying buy now and you'll make money tomorrow, because you should never get into metal thinking that way with that mindset, because that's not realistic. And quite frankly, it's irresponsible if anybody tells you that you're going to get rich quick, because you won't. Or I shouldn't say that. You could, but more than likely you won't. It's not impossible, but it definitely isn't guaranteed. So like I tell people, I would approach silver in a way where you don't want to put more money out there investing in metal than you can comfortably afford. Granted, the nice thing about precious metal, it's not like buying a lottery ticket. You'll always have some value. So with precious metal, if you get in a pinch, you can always sell, but you don't want to have to sell at an inopportune time and lose money. So just be very careful on, you know, how much you buy, when you buy. That's my advice on that. So I'm just focusing on some silver pieces and some odds and ends that we have in the case here while I'm blabbing to you all. But where do I feel silver is going to go? Well, as I said, I'm not going to predict prices, but I'm real optimistic about the future for silver, and that's why I'm continuing to stack. That's why I'm continuing in this business, to give other people the opportunity to stack. because I think it's important that everybody should own some precious metal, because I think there's going to come a time where those who have metals are going to be rewarded financially, whether it's a revaluation of our currency or just the value in general of our silver in today's dollars is going to go up substantially. And then at that point, if it outpaces inflation, you're going to come out ahead if you want to liquidate some, and now you have basically extra disposable income that you can use to buy that house, to buy that, you know, jet ski, to buy that fancy car, or to save for the next generation. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't buy silver thinking I have to sell it at some point. That thought's always there, that I have the ability to. That's the nice thing about it. I'm not really spending money on silver. I'm converting fiat currency into real money. And if I need to, I can always convert it back. That's the nice thing about it. So I have to convince my wife of that sometimes too. I'm not spending money, I'm just doing a currency conversion. And that's 100% true. It's not like I'm spending, you know, $1,000 on crap from Amazon or wish.com that it's going to end up in the trash at some point. I'm buying something tangible that has real value and has had value since ancient times. So I'm not worried that it's ever going to become worthless. But as I said, I'm optimistic about the future for silver. I think this summer it's going to continue to be quite volatile. There's a lot going on in our world, not just in our world, but in our country. There's a lot of indecision in politics right now as to how one of the parties is going to move forward with this upcoming election season that's upon us. I won't dive into that too much because I try to keep this channel politic free, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, what's going to happen there? Boy, it's anybody's guess. But I think the end result is going to be a positive for the country as a whole. So I think better times are coming. We'll just leave it at that. So we'll talk about gold quickly too. Gold has been selling quite well. I think the last time Silver Seeker and I had a chat, I touched on him, and it maybe wasn't even on camera, but privately, when we weren't recording, I guess, I talked about gold and told him how gold really isn't selling very well in the shop. Well, you know, it's funny. I bring that up. Literally the next day, I had somebody come in and want to buy 16 ounces of gold. The next day, I had somebody come in and buy 8 ounces of gold. And now just the other day, I placed an order for another 15 ounces for a customer. So there are still some people that are actively making large gold purchases. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm just not doing it personally. I'm still stacking silver because I believe silver has better opportunity in the long run, just in terms of ratios. Because I don't know if you pay attention to the gold to silver ratio. I've done countless videos on it, and I bring it up every now and then on this channel. But I truly believe that silver is an undervalued asset when compared to gold. So that's why I'm putting my dollars into that metal right now. But a lot of people are buying silver, as I said. So as they continue to buy, or I'm sorry, many people are buying gold and silver both, but we're talking gold here. But as people continue to buy gold, the price just keeps creeping up. So, you know, it's making them look smart. You know, I have a customer that occasionally will buy a gold buffalo. I'm not sure if he watches these videos or not, quite frankly, but I'm not going to mention his name because its confidentiality is important. But he buys gold buffaloes occasionally, and now the price of a gold buffalo is up over $2,500. And he was in the shop today, and we were talking about it, and he said, you know, Josh, I've never paid $2,500 for a gold buffalo. Well, if he wants to buy one today, he has to. So that, you know, the threshold for the price just keeps ticking up and ticking up and ticking up. And there have been some pullbacks and opportunities in gold, but I think, you know, it's human nature in a sense. As the spot prices start to charge up, that's when people that have been on the fence and those, you know, few big gold buys that I'm talking about, these were first-time buys for them. So, you know, there you have it. I mean, I guess there's just people that, you know, it gets in the news cycle, they get excited about it and realize, you know, I want to own some gold. So they're getting in for the first time. And I think at the end of the day, you're never too late. I don't think you're you know, getting in at $2,420 spot price per ounce is necessarily bad. Granted, there were better opportunities when it was down in the 2200s, you know, less than a month ago. But if gold breaks out, like a lot of these so-called experts think it will, and silver both, you know, what's a couple hundred more dollars per ounce that you spent? It's not going to be a big deal if gold gets to 5,000 an ounce or 10,000 an ounce. It'll just seem, you know, like a moot point. It's not going to be that big a deal at that point. So we shall see. But gold, for that reason, I believe, because it's been in the news cycle, because it's, you know, bumping up against all-time highs frequently, has been selling better in the shop. And actually so has pre-1933 gold, which I have some on the tray here. It's kind of distorted because of the angle I'm filming. But I excuse me, but I sold 3 pieces to one individual just the other day. And a couple weeks ago, I sold 3 or 4. I sold a $1 gold, a $2.50, a $3, and a $5 to a customer as well. So that remains popular, although you're always going to pay a collector price on top of the bullion value. It's a good way to buy gold. We did get in some new silver soldiers. Looks like I have 6 of the 8 designs that are available. I'm sold out of a couple. But the new ones are actually the 2 on the left. The top one's the Minesweeper. The one below him is the Kneeling Rifleman. The one second from the left on the top row is the Follow Me. And the one on the bottom row is the Crawling Soldier. Those are the 4 newest ones that we have in stock. So now we'll talk about customer sentiment. What are customers saying? I've said this before, and I love that my shop has become this, quite honestly. It's kind of like small town barbershop, where I get people that want to just come in and talk about the world, talk about metals, talk about whatever. So the people I've met because of this business, I'm very grateful for, because I would call them friends now, and we probably wouldn't have crossed paths in life otherwise. So, but what are they saying? Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, as I said, in the world right now. There's a lot of unrest, even in our own country. There's a lot of indecision on how, you know, things are going to move forward in terms of presidential elections, things like that. So I think that's going to have direct impact on gold and silver, and I think my customers do too. Is it for the better or for the worse? Well, it's really hard to say. You know, there again, I'm not going to get into politics too much, so I'll cut that part off right there, but it's going to be tumultuous. I think gold and silver are both going to be kind of volatile. The last few days, maybe even week, they've been volatile to the positive in a good way, where they've been going up. But, you know, just depending on what happens here in the next, well, under 5 months now until election day, it's going to be interesting to see how metals are impacted overall. But I think the overall outlook is good. I truly believe that. And as I said, that's why I continue to stack. But my customers feel the same way. I mean, I think a lot of us are frustrated with how things are in the world, regardless of your party affiliation. So, you know, hopefully better things are coming. And I'm optimistic. But you look at what's happening in other countries with basically election fraud. France is kind of dealing with that right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do some research about the recent election in France. So, I don't know. Some things are changing for the better, some for the worse, but I think I'm optimistic, as I said, for the future. So I think you should be too. This is kind of going to be the last case I focus on here on the walkthrough. That reminds me, I realize I do a terrible job promoting this. I'm the chairman of our local coin show here in Minot. And I think for all you locals that come in the shop, you probably know when our coin show is, but for some of your viewers who maybe have an inkling that you want to come to Minot for our annual coin show, I should tell you when that is. For those of you who don't know, our coin club actually meets right here at our coin shop the 4th Tuesday of the month, August through May at 7 p.m. Guests can always show up, no pressure to join. But here's our coin club info. This is our 12th annual. I've been the chairman of the show for 12 years now. Where does the time go? But it's going to be October 5th and 6th, which is a Saturday and a Sunday. 2024. It's at the Sleep Inn and Suites right here in Minot. It's literally, if I look out my window, it's just, whoops, the camera's following my face instead of where I want it to point. It's literally just that direction, about 3 minutes from here. So it's a very short commute for me, to say the least, but that's a show that I put on with the help of other dealers from the state. We do get some from Minnesota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin as well over the years that have set up at the show. So it's a great show. We have typically 12 to 15 different coin dealers. There's anywhere from 30 to 40 tables of stuff. So lots of stuff to look at. If you're into coins and bullion, you could literally spend all day looking at it. So, but yeah, that's coming up. We do give away a gold coin. You see down on the bottom, daily gold coin raffle. Your entry fee of $2 gets you a ticket. If you want to buy more tickets, it just costs you $1 more. But we give away 10th ounce gold coins each day. So it's a good chance to win free gold as well. So, but that's kind of the crux of it. I think gold and silver are both on good runs right now. Will it continue? I'm optimistic, but as I said, there's going to be pullbacks. There always are. So I don't think it's just going to keep going up, 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 up. There's always pullbacks on the way to higher numbers. So be patient. You know, if you've bought silver at today's price and you wake up tomorrow and it's down 50 cents, I wouldn't lose any sleep. It's only a loss on paper if you have to sell. Hopefully you're in a position where you didn't overextend your finances where you have to sell, because sometimes it's at an inopportune time where you could take a loss. So having said that, we all get in situations where we get pinched sometimes financially. So I'm no stranger to that either. So it happens to everyone. But hey, I appreciate you all tuning in during this walkthrough and gold and silver market update. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Subscribers really helps this channel grow, and we did cross over 10,000 subscribers this past month. That's a milestone that's made possible by all of you, and I definitely appreciate that. And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that little shop in Minot, North Dakota that has a YouTube channel could get that many subscribers, but I'm very thankful to you all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you're not subscribed, consider doing so, because we do put out weekly flash sales where we have a gold or silver item or a numismatic item for great prices for one day only, usually for anywhere from 4 to 6 hour period. So we're going to continue to do those on a weekly basis. So if you want to get notified when we have those sales, I do put out the videos announcing them the day before. So be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification and select all, so you get notified when we put out new videos, so you can be alerted to that. And comment down below, what do you think is a better investment over the next, let's just say up until election? That's about a little less than 5 months now. I'm sorry, a little less than 4 months. I think I said 5 months earlier. A little less than 4 months. Do you think gold is going to be the winner, or do you think silver? Me, personally, I think silver is going to go up a higher percentage than gold, but I want to know what you think. So drop that down in the comments. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop those down in the comments as well. I do my best to answer all the comments I have, or all the questions I have in the comments. So, but I appreciate you all. I won't keep you anymore. It's been over 17 minutes already. But thank you all for tuning in. You all are awesome. Have a wonderful day.